Imagine that you have stumbled upon the key to transforming your life. A change so profound that it can alter the course of your daily routine, aspirations, and interactions. It isn't cutting-edge technology or a secret potion. It's something right at your fingertips: the challenge to cease pornography consumption. Amidst our society's normalization of such habits, there's a pressing conversation to be had about the potentially hazardous effects they harbor. We're diving deep into this topic today, armed with scientific insight to bolster every fact laid before you. Dopamine. It's the driving force behind our quest for pleasure and achievement. Curious why you can't resist that piece of chocolate? That's dopamine at work. Ever wonder why you're compelled to beat the next level in your favorite game? Once again, dopamine. It's the spark that lights the fire beneath our productivity. But when it spirals out of balance, the consequences are dire. Consider rodents, usually ambitious creatures, that when deprived of dopamine, wouldn't even eat readily available food, ultimately succumbing to starvation. Drugs known to induce high levels of dopamine, such as cocaine and heroin, leave your brain yearning to return to normalcy, often reducing the natural production of dopamine receptors as a result. A myriad of symptoms accompany this shortage: unquenchable fatigue, fluctuating moods, insomnia, and an inability to find joy even in the company of others. Society might insist drugs are the sole villains in this narrative, but they're overlooking a silent culprit: pornography. Yes, the explicit content that permeates countless screens possesses a similar, if not identical, grip on our dopamine receptors. Sexual stimuli, given their evolutionary significance, come with a hefty dopamine payoff. These levels can soar to heights likened to potent drugs, except with pornography, there's no high that rapidly dissipates. Porn can fuel a dopamine high indefinitely, courtesy of the Coolidge effect, where novelty consistently reinvigorates desire. This ability to maintain such dopamine surges for extended periods has dire implications. Continuous exposure to high dopamine levels, akin to those induced by severe narcotics, instigates a gradual numbing of your brain's reward circuits. Over the years, this wears down the mental fortitude of many men, leaving behind a trail of anxiety, desolation, and lethargy, while society looks on, perhaps inadvertently encouraging this predicament. But the silver lining shines brightly for those who rise to the challenge of foregoing pornography. Testimonies flood in about reclaimed vibrancy, surges in motivation, diminished anxiety, and stronger social connections, all fruits of dopamine levels gradually resetting to their natural equilibrium. This journey to liberation from pornography's grip isn't easy, but it's possible, and the rewards are bountiful. To forge ahead without miss, make sure you're connected with us, as we'll be crafting a comprehensive guide on how to successfully break free from porn's hold. Now, spot-on advice and insights are what we promise, but your involvement is the linchpin. Hit subscribe, delve into our community, and turn the tide in your favor. If you've got queries or seek clarity, drop a comment. I'm more than ready to delve into dialogue with you. Before you embark on this remarkable voyage, remember this key takeaway. You possess the capability to redefine your life's trajectory. So, which action from today's exploration will you integrate into your life's fabric? Let's discuss, reflect, and aspire to achieve greatness together. For those who found value in this discourse and feel compelled to show appreciation, our gratitude would be immense for any gesture. Feel free to peruse the video's description should you wish to contribute to our mission. Together, let's forge a future where we are all masters of our domain, both in mind and in spirit. Greetings, gentlemen. Imagine a simple act changing your life considerably. Today's tale is about that transformative power, and by the end of this run-through, you might just find yourself embarking on a voyage that redefines who you are. This journey isn't for the faint of heart. It requires iron resolve and promises a taste of true self-mastery. Let's delve into the world of discipline and the clear-cut advantages it brings. Welcome to Max Sterling's channel, my brothers in the quest for self-improvement. Sit tight as we unravel the mysteries of a challenge that's not merely about self-restraint but about unlocking a new dimension of your potential. Let's kick things off with the initial 48-hour hurdle. Those first 2 days felt like wrestling a beast. The brain tries to trick you, to lure you back into old habits. It was a formidable battle against urges and mind fog so thick you could mistake it for pea soup. Stumbling over words in everyday conversations was just the tip of the iceberg. But then, a shift began. As the fog lifted, there was a burgeoning sense of clarity. Suddenly, the world didn't seem quite so hazy anymore. The best weapon during this confusing time? Movement. Stepping foot into the gym, visiting a friend, running errands, each action was a step away from the edge of relapse. Now, let's march on to days 3 and 4. Here, my battle-weary comrades, I found a remarkable surge in self-esteem. No more repeating that I was weak or pitiful. Confidence started making a comeback. Social interactions transformed. I was making eye contact, radiating a spark of life, and it was reciprocated by those around me. By days 5 and 6, energy levels soared. Waking up wasn't a chore, it was a gunshot start to a day of victories. Those wholesome habits you've heard about but struggled to maintain? Suddenly, they didn't feel like a burden. Education, exercise, mental fortitude, they were all on the upswing, and I was reaping the rewards. Day 7, my friends, is an enigma on its own. If you're searching for proof, a Chinese study points out that on this very day, testosterone spikes to 145% of its baseline. The feeling isn't about aggression, but control, as if you've been handed the reins to the world. Initiatives flowed, social arrangements popped up out of nowhere, and past fears of conversing with new or old connections dissipated. Be warned, the siren call of temptation on day 7 is potent, requiring every ounce of your will to stay the course. Days 7 and 8 are sprinkled with social advances and an inner calm so deep it's practically oceanic. Conversations flowed effortlessly, and suddenly, approaching that intriguing person across the room didn't feel like a monumental task. Bear in mind, the roller coaster of this quest doesn't level off just because you've breezed past a week. The real treasures lie ahead for those persistent enough to journey onward. At the 2-week milestone, my confidence didn't just climb, it soared. Interactions with others held new depth and authenticity. Bluntness and honesty became my trademarks, with conversations transforming into mutual confessions. But let me pause our chronicle for a moment, brothers. Before diving into the splendors of the 1-month mark and beyond, I urge you to stay tuned. Every subscribe, like, and notification bell hit cements your commitment to transforming into the man you are destined to be. Now, imagine the mind at 1 month of this regime, insurmountably sharp, wielding wit like a swift blade. Speaking without pause, without doubt, with an ability to spar verbally with anyone, anywhere, at any time. That's the mental agility you gain. The benefits glimpsed on day 7? By a month in, they're not just visiting, they're setting up home in your psyche. Self-belief takes root, blossoming into a mindset ready to conquer. As we cross into the 2 to 3 month threshold, the social realm felt like it had undergone an enchantment. Stories unfolded where connections formed effortlessly, where charisma drew people in and spun them into my orbit as if by some magnetic force. Despite these strides, beyond 3 months, the landscape levels. Additional gains in confidence, productivity, and social prowess may plateau, but don't mistake this leveling for stasis. Life isn't just good at this juncture, it's exceptional. Yet, a word to the wise, a misstep can send you tumbling back to square one. Resilience is the name of the game. For those of you who've witnessed this video and a spark of ambition has ignited within you, consider trying just a week of this transformative abstention. Get a glimpse at a fuller, richer life lying just beyond the horizon. And as always, if you found value in this narrative, a tip consistent with the enrichment gained is always appreciated. Peruse the description for the relevant details. Take a moment now, reflect. Which lesson from today's recount will you integrate into your life? Make the pledge, set the intention. Embrace the challenge, and you, too, could be sharing a story that will inspire and motivate others to follow the path of the strongest, most successful version of themselves. Welcome to the good life, gentlemen. Welcome to the path of the divine masculine. Let the quest begin.